Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Art Whisper 88. Today I am reviving my 16 by 20 gel plate, and my theme today is thinking big. And I do miss my big gel plate. I have a lot of freedom when I am working on a larger scale, and my first reason is it is a lot of fun, I have to admit. And this is a 22 by 30 sheet of Richeson watercolor paper, which I will be using today. And I'm back to using my friend's gift to me, which is this wonderful printing bed. And it's made of wood and a sheet of plexiglass. And the plexiglass allows the gel plate to stay in place. And it's exactly 16 by 20 as well. So anyway, I will start by arranging my favorite reusable stencils just to create a first layer. So this time I will be using the big stencils. I think they do make a bold statement. I just have to remember not to forget these guys. So these are clear. And when I made these, I didn't realize that the clear ones will be hard to spot on the gel plate after they're inked. So I switched from the clear ones to the colored ones, which are easier to spot. So I learned my lesson, but I don't want to throw these out because they're still very useful. I just have to be mindful of them. And I know many of you well-meaning viewers say, oh, you should take a photo with a camera and so forth and so on. I know myself, even if I did that, I'll still forget. So I would rather train my mind to be careful and check each time rather than depend on a device to do my remembering for me. So anyway, this is all set up. Okay. And again, I will be using my favorite Mars Black Blickcrylic to put on a first coat. I think this tends to get clogged when it's not used for a while. And this takes a little bit of practice in gauging how much paint to use, because since I keep changing sizes, naturally the larger plate takes up more paint. And it takes a little bit of practice to be able to judge, because there's really no hard and fast rule. Okay, let me just clean up the edges. Let me just add some extra marks. I'm glad I did that because there's still one stencil here. Here. Okay. So I will allow this to dry before I apply the second layer. Okay, it's about 80% dry. Let me put some, this is Naples yellow. And this is Azo Vermilion. And here's some lime green. This time I will use a wider brayer because this is a larger plate. So the reason I don't let the black layer dry 100% is I want to allow for a little bit of smearing. It just adds to the texture. So what this second layer does, it activates the first layer, which is a semi-dry condition. And once it's activated, it will transfer to the paper, as it should. Okay. I hope my measurements are correct. And I'm applying a firm but even pressure. But I do remember from experience that it's not so much the pressure on the paper. I mean, it does play a role in the transfer. What makes the paper pick up the paint really is the time you leave this on the plate. And I find that 5 minutes is optimum. Any time longer than 5, 6, 7 minutes, there's a danger of tearing. So I try to play safe and then keep it under 4 or 5 minutes. So I will be back in a few. And having a ceiling fan helps a lot. It helps the paper to absorb the paint. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see how we made out. I think it's a good transfer. Wow, I like this. It's also very glossy. It's very striking. So let me air dry this and pull a second one. Okay, everybody, I am giving a second printing with this 16 by 20 plate. And again, I have arranged my reusable stencils. And this time I will use my wider roller or brayer. Just to create an even layer. Okay. Just make sure there are no really high spots or heavy spots. Then I'll add some more marks here. I do like these big shapes because they're easy to spot. Again, I will air dry this for a few minutes before I apply a second coat. Okay, let me put some azo vermilion. Naples yellow. A little bit of Venetian rose. Let's see how this works out. Now this layer is really very thin, so I'm hoping maybe the transfer will even be better than the first one. Now there's a fine line between having it thin and too thin. When it's too thin, you'll have some bald spots, and I want to avoid that. I'm using the heel of my brayer as a mark making tool. Okay. Okay. Okay, it's been over 5 minutes. Let's see how we made out. Wow, this is pretty dramatic. It picked up everything. And I do like the satin finish of this paint. Okay, very cool. I think I'm gonna call it a night and recap with these two guys. So I'll be right back. Okay, everybody, here's a quick recap of the two pieces. And this is the first piece. Here's a close-up. Now, for a moment there, I was thinking of adding a third layer of iridescent paint or metallic paint, but the image is so striking by itself that I think it should be left alone. I hope you agree. So that is piece number one. And here is the second piece. This kind of looks like an elephant. It was unintentional. As you can see, there's a slight satin finish to it, which I like. Now let me put these two side by side. So I think they make a nice pair of prints. So I hope you liked this video. I had a lot of fun doing it. And please check out artwhisper88.com, which is my storefront. And the sales of all these pieces help to keep this channel going. Thank you, and I hope to see you next time.